Everybody needs to put a little spice and different things into their menus. And maybe you don't buy plantains in the supermarket, but you should. Now that is the correct pronunciation. A lot of people will call these plantains. They're also called cooking bananas. They're very different from bananas though, and let me just kind of show you the difference. You're familiar, of course, with a regular banana that peels pretty easily and has a very nice soft flesh. Well, the plantain is in the same family, and like I said, it is called a cooking banana, but you're going to notice that these green ones, you need to peel them so that it doesn't peel back like a regular banana does. You just need to get your paring knife and cut and get that peel off of there, just like that. So it looks like a banana, but texture-wise, it's very firm. So there's a big texture difference between this. And the reason we call it a cooking banana is because of this firm texture. So you need to cook this before you can eat it, unlike the banana that you can eat raw. So what we're going to do with these is we're just going to go ahead and peel off this outer skin. There's two different types that you can buy. You can buy some that are already yellow looking, just like a banana, and those are great. Those are kind of a little more ripe than these are. These green ones are my favorites to cook with because they're a little more dense in texture, and I like the flavor of them. So after we've discarded all of this skin that we've just cut off here, what we're going to do is put these on a baking sheet that we've just lightly greased, and we're going to brush these with some melted butter. So just take the butter, brush them over the top. You don't have to brush them over on the bottom end because we've greased the baking sheet. And notice that this is a baking sheet with a rim, so you'll need to make sure that you've got one with the rim for this. Uh-oh, we got a little problem right there. That's okay, it'll bake just fine. And then these are going to go into a preheated oven, and we've preheated our oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to bake these for about 30 minutes. Now, while that's going on, we're going to make a hot cilantro drizzle. So I've got tons of it already harvested from my garden that I'm going to add stems and all to your food processor. Just a good bunch of it, really. You don't have to go crazy. And then we're going to add some garlic. And I grew garlic for the first time this year, too. You don't have to mince it, but I'm going to in here to just kind of speed up the process a little bit. If the garlic cloves are big, just use a 2. If they're not, you might want to use like 3 or so. So we're going to add the fresh garlic to that. We're going to add some salt. Then I've got some hot peppers that I have seeded and chopped that we're going to add to that. The juice of 1 lime, which is about 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 1/4 cup of water. And then we've got some shallots. I like shallots because they're a milder form of onion. If you really want an onion flavor to that, you could use a stronger onion or even a yellow onion that's sweet for that. Okay, now what we're going to do is process this in your food processor. And you can see it's pretty liquid. And then we're going to set this aside for the plantains to bake. In the meantime, you can use any kind of cheese you want for this. You can use mozzarella, you can use Monterey Jack. I like both actually, but to add just a little bit more heat to this, we're going to be utilizing some sliced Monterey Jack cheese. If you want it a little milder, use mozzarella. Okay, so here's what the plantains look like after they come out of the oven. So you can see what we've done here. I baked them for 30 minutes, and then I went in and flipped them over and baked them another 15 minutes in the oven. So after that, you're just going to come in with your paring knife, and we're just going to make a little bit of slit. They're cool enough to handle. And split those open, and we're going to add our cheese to that. So make sure you have a good thin slice for this so you can get it down in there easily. So we're going to put these back into the oven so that we can evenly melt this cheese. So you have baked cheese plantains with a hot cilantro drizzle. This can be an appetizer or a side dish.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.